1690 WVON.
Now you official now, but you got a solar style. I just been cooking that milk. I'm about to drop in the field. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim, brothers and sisters, welcome back. Another edition of Straight Words on WVON 1690, the talk of Chicago. Straight Words, the .com website, straightwords.com website is where you can find out everything you need to know about the show. All the brothers that are on this show, all of our guests, you can go back and hear some of the content that we've been producing for the last year and a half. Well, without any further delay, let me introduce you to these two esteemed brothers that are here to educate you and inform you. He is the editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper. His name is Brother Naba'a Richard Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How you doing?
Wa alaikum salam, Brother BJ, Black Radio Hall of Fame artist.
Praise God. Praise God, brother. Good to hear your black voice. And our other esteemed brother, he is the former editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper. He is a content contributor. This brother is a Hall of Fame editor. Let's give it up, brothers and sisters. Brother James G. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Mr. Hall of Fame himself. How you doing, bro?
Brother, I'm doing good. It's good to hear your black voices. Brother, I'm feeling good. We alive. We on top of the ground, man. We got another shot at it.
That's right. That's right.
To get it right. And we here on Straight Words. Brother, we got a very powerful show tonight, Brother Naba. Go ahead. You want to run down what we got coming up, brother?
Yeah. Thank you, Brother BJ. Brothers and sisters, 773-591-1690. We want you to call in and join the conversation. What we're hoping to have in this opening segment is we want you to hear from some of the beautiful and talented young black people in Chicago that are part of the ABJ Civic Art Center. They are doing a play called Bootstraps. So we're looking forward to having them come on by Allah's grace and talk about that play and the work that they're involved in. The director and leader and servant of ABJ Civic Arts Center is Sister Victoria Brady, a longtime friend of mine, a longtime friend of our community, brothers and sisters. Sister who's been working for our community for a long time. And she's a very talented sister. She enjoys, working with our young people and bringing those talents forward. I've had the pleasure of working with her over the years. I call her Sister Lieutenant because she's definitely a soldier, and she's definitely a leader that you can have confidence in. So we want you to hang with us for a minute. And like I said, we're waiting for them to call in. I know that Sister was going to join us. Sister Victoria was going to join us a little later. So whenever they come on, we will bring them right in. We don't have anybody on the phone lines waiting, do we? No?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, very good. So look, brothers and sisters, let me give you some details. The ABJ Civic Arts Center is going to present Bootstraps, right? It's a play. It will debut, or it will be performed Sunday, October 6th, 2024. Performance will begin at 4:30 sharp, so don't be late, okay? Don't be late. Bootstraps is an intergenerational must-see play full of music, rap, spoken word, and dance, promoting the positive relations between community stakeholders. Audience have hailed Bootstraps as Broadway ready. So the ABJ Civic Arts Center will be presenting Bootstraps Sunday, October 6th, 2024. It's going to be at the Reva and David Logan Center for the Arts Performance Hall. You know where that is, right? Well, if you don't, it's located at 915 East 60th Street. So y'all come on out, and you can get tickets at uchicago.edu. Tickets for adults are $25. For students and senior citizens, it's $15. I wonder if I can qualify for that now. But you got to present an ID. The box office to get tickets is 773-702-2787. And I tell you, brothers and sisters, let me just say this, you know. We really have great young people doing great things.
Right.
But they don't get the focus and the highlight that they should get. So if you go to the Straight Words Media Facebook page, Straight Words Media Facebook page, we got a flyer for Bootstraps up there, and you can use your phone to scan the QR code to get tickets for Bootstraps Sunday, October 6th, 2024, 4:30 sharp, at the Reva and David Logan Center for the Arts Performance Hall, 915 East 60th Street. Okay? So y'all go and check that out and stay tuned. You know, brothers and sisters, this sister, Nana Victoria Brady, she was given the title Nana, which is an honorary title when she went to Ghana. And this is an honorable sister. This is a dedicated sister. This is a sister that has fought consistently for our children. And I know because I've seen her work, and I work with her. So when we expand opportunities for our children, we help them to learn more about themselves. So we are taught in our teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to learn all about yourself. So again, we're going to check that out. So brothers, we got some stuff happening. The latest stuff, Brother BJ, I don't know, were you watching the latest with the young woman that came forward today in the P. Diddy case? She's filed a civil suit. Were you okay? No, sir. Well, the young lady, on that one. Well, the young lady came forward today. She's filed a civil suit accusing Diddy and some others of sexual crimes against her, and videotaping what they did. So, you know, I guess there were already some civil suits out there. And now that he's in custody and accused by the feds of sex trafficking and violence and all kinds of different crimes, I'm sure there will be other civil suits that will come out. So we got anybody on the line, Brother BJ? Because if so, we can bring them in. Yes, sir. Let's bring Cliff on the line. You're on Straight Words. Brother Cliff, go ahead and talk to us on WVON.
Hey, Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thanks for taking my call. Listen, I'll be brief. Hey, is it possible, I want to address the caller, have my respect for him, and, you know, he speaks of the nation. He was a part of the nation. That's Brother Art. You know, so if it's possible, I can have a discussion with him, or is it possible that can happen? So with two people on the line at the same time, I can wait. I'll yield my comments.
Well,
and wait for him to call.
I think that Cliff. Obviously, you want to have a conversation, right?
Well, the thing is that as it relates to the nation.
I think that what we should do, right?
Or you want me to make my comment?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and make your comment.
Okay, well, as it relates to Art, you know, he talks about the black leadership, and he makes a good point in terms of the neglect and them falling short with the black community, Republicans and Democrats nevertheless. But then the thing that I've heard and observed was that he made mention of the Nation of Islam and the nation speaking of the racism and the wickedness of white people. And his concern is, why are we dealing with white people and dealing with that racism when we need to deal internally with our own demise? And he makes a good point, but the fact of the matter is that I just don't feel comfortable, and I want to address that, or if he could, in terms of the nation talking about the wickedness coming from our oppressor and the white man. I think it's necessary and it's legit. So I'll just leave it like that, if that's okay.
Okay, Cliff, I want you to repeat, what is the question or the issue that you'd like Art to address if he's listening?
So I want Art to address, with the permission of you brothers in the nation, if he can express more or go into details his issue with the Nation of Islam indicating and expressing the white racism that exists in this country. I guess he seems to have a problem or issue with that, and I want him to address that, if that makes sense.
All right, that makes sense. Okay, so, Art, if you're listening, you can call in. Cliff, thank you for calling, and thank you for your support. You know, wa alaikum salam. So we had another story, brothers, that I actually, if you go to straightwords.com and if you go to our newswire, I've got a piece that I wrote about it. And I don't know if you all heard about it. It kind of came up a couple of days ago. And I thought there would be more coverage of it, but there hasn't been. And I think this is, okay, well, let's let Art get on in and he can answer Cliff's question.
Brother Art?
Yes, sir. Good evening, brothers. How you doing?
Hey, good evening, brother Art. How you doing? So Cliff asked a question. You can either answer it or you can do whatever you wish.
Well, first I'm gonna give him my number over the air too, and I have no problem who calls me. So I'll let you know that straightforward. My issue is that the Nation of Islam has made it over 75 years or more crystal clear to the black community and to the world our position on white racism, white supremacy, and all things that white folks has done and continue to do. I don't think there's no one walking the planet that don't know, that's black and white, don't know what the position of the Nation of Islam is. And that is one of our core indoctrination or teaching or explanation or explaining, what white folks has done. I think we've done that very well in the Nation of Islam. What I think that the nation, from my perspective, the Nation of Islam leadership has not pinpointed, primarily focused on the 80%, which is the internal problem of our own community, which is God, the black man, the black woman, and black children. And I mean that is our primary focus, is to rebuild and re-strengthen the black family with every tool that is possible. That is my concern with all leadership. I don't care if they're 501, I don't care if they're Mars, teachers, leaders, potentators, preachers, teachers, doesn't matter to me. If you're black and you're in the community and you're looking to the community for support and resources, or you say you represent the community, then 80% of things that they should do, it should be specifically trying to rebuild and re-strengthen the black family. That's my position very clearly. And I'll leave my number is 773-440-7903. That's 773-440-7903. And if anyone you would like to ask any questions, if you have any, it's fine. And last point, anybody who sits in a seat and they have leadership representing the body, Leadership's supposed to represent what the leader is speaking on and teaching on. That's what they should represent.
All right, brother. Art, thank you, brother.
Yes, sir, and I am what now, black people. May God continue to bless.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, there it is, brother. You laid it out.
Well,
I wanted to say, I'm going to go real quick because we want to get all the callers, and I'm going to say this. The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has never said that 80% of our problem is in our community. He said that our unity would solve 95% of our problems, right?
Right. That's right.
The other thing is, I think there's a lot of misconceptions in terms of what the Nation of Islam believes, and I get it when I talk to people or when I see people mischaracterize what we believe. So the work of the nation is the resurrection of the black man and woman, right?
Right.
I think our focus on family and building a family, not just nuclear families, but extended families, right? Because in this society, with the breakup of family, we certainly have to do everything to keep our families together, but we have to expand that notion of families so that those who don't have a father because he's a victim or he's in the criminal justice system, who maybe doesn't have a mother because she suffered from some devastating experience maybe that has her needing to heal herself and not being in the best position to raise her children, which she would like to do. Lastly, when we talk about white people, we don't talk about them as some other entity. We talk about them in terms of prophecy, and their role in ruling the world at this time, that their rule is coming to an end, and that it is time that we rise. And so it is time that we reject the mindset, the ways, the activity of Caucasian people, learn about, as we said, all about ourselves, and bring ourselves forward. So thank you. Let's get to the call, BJ. Go ahead, Brother James.
Right. Just quickly, brother. I just would, and I know Art is not on, but, I don't know necessarily what is he looking for, because, it's basically a similar comment when he calls every time, which I appreciate. But if he's been in the nation and if he's observed the nation, I think our focus is on what, like you just said, the resurrection of the black man and woman. That includes the family. And if he, so I don't know what he's specifically looking for, but we have number one in my mind is that self-development is the basis for community. Self-improvement is the basis for community development. That's what we're focused on as a nation, and that's what we're doing with our people. So I don't know if it's something that he specifically is looking for. There are organizations that are addressing specific issues throughout our community. Some focus on children, some focus on men, and that kind of thing. So when he says he has an issue with all leadership, that confuses me because there are people doing a lot of different things. So I'm not very clear. Maybe next time he calls, he could be more specific on what he's looking for me to understand it. So, yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So is it Keisha that's on the line? Who do we have? Can we bring all of them in at the same time? Because I think those are the young people we've been waiting for.
Go ahead.
All righty.
Well, that's wonderful. Y'all been waiting on us. Yes. How you guys doing up there?
How would you now? Who do you have with you?
All right. So, my name, of course, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Keisha. Lady Keisha is what I affectionately am called, with ABJ Civic Center. And we believe exactly what you're talking about, rebuilding the community We are a village people, y'all, and that's what ABJ is all about. It's about unity. He was speaking about the extended family, and that's what we are. We believe at ABJ that we believe in the power of Ubuntu. Ubuntu is I am because you are, because we are. We all have to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, and that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. And pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps is doing exactly what you just said, using the resources that we have to get ourselves in and out of the situation. And the resources are right here in front of us. So we're going to talk a little bit about one of the things that one of the ways we as the people show our expressions, and we do it through the art. We have a play that was written by a phenomenal woman, Pastor Victoria Brady, who is the second or third generation owner of ABJ. And she sees some things that was some injustices and some things that was going on in the community, and she was like, we need to write about this. So one of the young people we have on, I believe she's on. Capri, are you on? Yeah. Amazing. This young lady here is phenomenal. Y'all want to say her name. It's Capri Williams. She's been with ABJ for about 3 to 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. And she is the main character of Bootstraps. She's 21. She's a motivational speaker. She's on TV inspiring young people, old people, dogs, cats. She inspiring everybody to be the best them and to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. So, Capri, tell us a little bit about your character, and then tell us a little bit about how you feel you've been bootstrapping.
So, hi, everyone. My name is Capri Williams.
Hey, Miss Capri. Welcome to the show, Miss Capri.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for showing up.
So in the show, in the showcase, I played the character of Jewel. Jewel she's young, she's fierce, she's smart. She's a young community activist who she wants change in her community. She's tired of all the same racism things happening. She's tired of our own people hurting each other. And so in the play, she meets an older man who tells her his war stories and different things. And the main point was how his generation pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. And as Jewel being young, and me myself too, it's like, what's bootstrap? What's bootstrapping? And so bootstrapping is when you take existing resources that you already have and use them to create something more effective or complex. And I actually learned that from the play. So, yeah, that's the moral of the story. It's so good. You guys have to come on October 6th at the University of Chicago. It's going to be so good. Yeah, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We got somebody else?
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, I think we have Robert.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Capri said she had got some wisdom from one of the older generations. So we all have to
y'all gonna cut that out.
I'm just saying we have to do that. A lot of young people won't know if we're not intergenerational. If we don't hear from our older generation, the younger people will never know.
Our more seasoned in our
yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Robert plays that character. And Robert, tell us a little bit about the character and your.
I'm Robert Simpson. I play Zeke. I'm the elder of everybody. Matter of fact, I go back to the 60s, so you can tell how old I am. So I bring a little history to this because I grew up during this time. I grew up during the situations that we had with the police department, the situation we had with the community, and the situation that we have today with our young people and our elders. And kind of bringing that kind of wisdom to Zeke, to these young people, but not just my wisdom, learning from them too, because we need to bridge that gap between our elders and our youth, because they can learn a lot and we can too. And so I think my character is a little more like, we're kind of rounded because of the battles that we went through, and now we're trying to teach them the same thing, but to be patient. Because our little youth today, right, they got so much power, and sometimes you have to be patient with certain things. And so that's probably what I'm bringing right now, to teach them to be patient.
Excellent. Miss Keisha, look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to give me the details, give our audience the details about Bootstraps, the play, the showcase. Where will it be? What time? What date?
How much?
And how much the tickets are and everything?
Yeah. We're going to get the ticket price in a minute, but I want you to talk first about where, what date, what time, and where this marvelous showcase of Black talent will present itself.
Hey, that's no problem. So Bootstraps will be presented on Sunday, October 6th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. sharp. The performance begins at that time at the Reba and David Logan Center for the Arts. That's the Performance Hall at 915 East 60th Street. Again, that's 915 East 60th Street. You can get your tickets at tickets.uchicago.edu.
Very good. Now, how much are tickets, and is there a phone number, or is that website the only place you can get tickets? And give the website again where you can get tickets that you just mentioned, and then tell us what the ticket prices are.
All right. So, again, that website is tickets.uchicago.edu. Tickets.uchicago.edu. You can also call the box office to order your tickets. So to get your tickets, if you got a group, a church event, you want some church people to come on out now. Amen. They don't even want to know casinos. They need to be coming over here after church to learn about bootstrapping, because we need to hit it. So our seniors, or our seasoned saints, as Robert called it, and our students are $15 a ticket. Low price of $15, and adults are $25.
Okay.
So real low admission to see such a phenomenal performance. That box office phone number, I don't know if I said it or not, but it's 773-702-2787. Again, that's 773-702-2787.
Very good. And we've got about 18 more minutes. We're basically going to devote this whole hour to you all. So
that's
I think I've talked enough. Brothers, y'all want to get in with questions or comments? I'm going to just be quiet.
I'd like to know a little bit more about it in terms of kind of, and maybe I just missed it, kind of set the scene, like what's happening. I guess it takes place in Chicago. I think Zeke, the character Zeke, spoke about wisdom that he drops. I just would like to get a little bit more about what am I going to be viewing? What's the setting? I know it's in the 60s, I believe he mentioned, if that's correct. And
I can answer that.
Sure.
Go ahead, Ms. Capri, yes. So the play is actually, it takes place in 2018. It's in 2018, so it's actually kind of new, I should say modern, and it does take place in Chicago, like I said, during the time of like 2018, and the main character, Jewel, she starts off in the beauty salon because her mom works in the beauty salon. Then next door is the barbershop where she meets the old heads. And, the elder shoe shine.
The seasoned brothers.
I mean, it's a shoe shop, not the barbershop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I got to put up with, gentlemen.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right.
We love.
But if I could jump in just a minute and say, I think one of the things that I like about Bootstraps, because I've been in it for a while, is actually teaching us about the different laws. That's the law that's on the north side, laws on the west side, the things that happen in our neighborhoods and our communities that we don't know, because we know that a lot of times there are certain laws that you can get that they're put in force, and then there's certain laws that we get away with. And I think one of the things is educating just our young people and our adults, because a lot of times we don't understand certain laws. So it's bridging that gap between what's going on today in our cities, in our community, and the knowledge that we need to have on how to deal with the issues when it comes down to the police department. There are good police officers, there are bad police officers. We see that today and certain things that's happening if you watch the news today. And what we're coming to do today is to bring that gap, to bridge that gap right now, and to get them to understand these are the laws that are passing. But we need to understand there are some good police officers. I grew up during the time civil rights was going on. And, of course, you already know how that went. The police sicking dogs on us and all kind of places, different neighborhoods we couldn't go to. But now today, when we look at where we can go and the places that we can go, we still have that same problem, that same issue with the police department and our youth. And so that's one of the main things, is trying to bridge that gap for them to understand. There are good police officers out here. And, of course, what you see on TV, because we promote that violence instead of promoting the positive things that go on. At the end of every newscast, we always have something positive. But from the beginning, we always talk about this violence.
Right.
And if that's drummed in us, in our heads, and our kids see it constantly, see that, and they see no future, then what else do we have left?
Yeah, and I think that Bootstraps is a Bible for our community. Bootstraps is, and what I mean by a Bible is something we can look in here and see. You see different relationships, the relationship between Jewel and Zeke, that the younger person can talk to the older person. There's other characters in there that have a little spaffle. I ain't going to tell the whole story, but they're able to resolve that. How do we resolve that? How do us as a people know how to resolve it if we don't see it? So in Bootstraps, it shows us, it shows us a lot of things on how we as a people, we as a community, how do we rebuild the community? We start right here with bootstrapping. We start right here by showing you how we can do it. Yes, we feel like the police brutality is wrong, but how do we go about doing it? Do we just talk, or do we come and we have a backup plan for what we need to do? So that's what Bootstrap does. Bootstraps should be seen by everybody. You guys need to come out, get your tickets now while you can. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Pastor V's on or not, but we are definitely wanting to give away 2 tickets tonight to someone.
Okay. Well, Sister Lieutenant, are you on the line?
Peace. Assalamu alaikum. I am on the line.
Yes. Pastor Victoria Brady, the writer, the director, the producer, the mind behind Bootstraps, y'all. Please put y'all hands together for Pastor Victoria Brady.
All right.
All right. Hey, family.
What's up?
Hey.
Well, so Brother Naba'a, what do you need from me, my brother? Much love to you.
Oh, sister, it's all love to you. I'm going to have to get out of this jail cell they locked me in. They call my apartment and come see you at some point. Why don't you talk, sister, about Bootstraps, the play, and what are some of the elements and some of the messages that you are hoping to share or get across to our community?
Yes, my brother, and I want to thank the cast. I think you're doing a great job explaining Bootstraps. Bootstraps is basically it's a wake up call. It's a call to action. I was working with one of the young men that's in the show. He's 17 years old, and he has a monologue that he says. And I said, do you understand what you're saying? I said, do you understand what the words are and what the words mean? Because I said, if you really understand what we're saying, then you will deliver this. So Bootstraps is basically, it is very much like a black print of how to not only be aware of situations in our community, but really about the call to action to deal with and address situations in our community and not waiting on someone else to come and do it. It's a do for yourself. It is a do for yourself, and not only for yourself, but for your fellow brother, your fellow sister. And yes, while it does promote healthy relationships with the police, I want to be very clear, because a lot of people are not. A lot of people oppose the police, and understandably so. It's not so much of that we are promoting relationships with the police. I mean, ABJ has had a very good relationship with CPD. But what we have to understand is that those individual officers are in a system that does not favor our people. They do not.
That's
the system does not favor our people. But it does not mean that every police officer is a bad officer. I have a personal story where you might remember this, Brother Naba'a, but we have a family member that was a police officer here in Chicago, was killed, and we had to fight the city for them to even say he was killed in the line of duty. But the point is that we know the sacrifice, and these are real human beings. These are people that make sacrifices to keep our city safe. However, we understand that beyond the person, whether good or bad, everything still comes back to us. What are we going to do about it? What are we? Because we talk about these things, and we don't like this, we don't like that. We say the pastors that the pastors are no good. They don't come out. All they're concerned about is the tithe. I hear these things as a pastor. I hear these things as a minister. I hear these things as a godly woman, and it can be painful sometimes. But yet we go out into the street and we pray with people, and we say, hey, come over here, we'll pray with you. And then we have people cussing us out. So we can all whine, moan, and complain. All of us can do that if we choose to. But what is that bigger prize that we can get collectively? Bootstraps is about taking where you are and creating what you want for yourself, and not sitting around waiting on somebody else to do it. And it does. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because it brings the elders together, the young people together. It brings the various ages, different backgrounds, like career backgrounds. Like Zeke is a shoe shine owner, and Shalette that's on the call. Zeke and Shalette are here. She's a beauty shop owner. And so we see different people in different careers. We see different age groups. We have rap, dance, music, singing. We have so many different elements packed into this beautiful, beautiful story centered around these black combat boots that were worn by a Vietnam vet.
Wow.
What a story.
So the boots are kind of like the center of the conversation?
The boots are part of the conversation, yes. The boots is what kind of kicks the main part of the story kicks off when Zeke is sitting there shining what the young activist Jewel considered as just an old pair of boots that have no real meaning. But a boot is a boot until you hear the story about the person that wore the boot. And that's what happens. She gets to hear the story. So she's no longer able to say, oh, look at them old, tired boots. How dare you open your mouth and say, look at those old, tired boots. Now, you can say that when you don't know any better, but when we know better, we have to do better. And that's the other thing that is pointing us to. We have, when we know, and that's in that scripture, y'all know that. You know that's in the Holy Quran, that's in the Holy Bible. When a man grow up, he's expected to act like a man.
Amen. Amen.
And
how did you get the idea for that as a focal point for a play that you wanted to write? How did that come about as you sat down with a piece of paper or your computer or whatever?
Well, it came about because at that time, some years back, I was doing some work with the 3rd District Police, and I happened to find out, I had never known, that there is NOBLE, National Office of Black Law
Enforcement. Yeah.
I did not know they existed. I knew nothing about them. And so the opportunity presented itself for me to partner with NOBLE, and they were going to sponsor ABJ to produce some kind of creative project. And so initially I was dealing with police brutality and making sure that our young people understand the laws, the law enforcement laws that are on the books, which is what they were talking about when I joined the call tonight. And I started thinking, okay, well, I don't want to just get up. I don't want to do anything that's preachy, just this preachy thing. And the idea just started coming to me, centered around this elder guy, this elder man. And at that time, it was a male activist playing the younger role. It was a male. And what I was doing is I was looking at, as a writer, okay, these young activists, they almost like pop-up activists. They pop up, and they have their say about this and that. But what I found, even in my working with young people in the community, I found that they often didn't have a backup plan. It was just pop up and make some noise and then go back home. So the idea began to formulate around, well, what if this older guy that's an old school activist was able to get into the man of this younger activist? And then I just started shaping the character, and I saw the shoe shine owner, and I knew about my cousin that had been a police officer, and my uncle had given me a pair of boots. He had given me his combat boots that he wore in the Korean War. Mm-hmm. And the idea just came to me that use these boots. Center your story around the boots. And then I'm like, okay, well, what are we going to call it? Bootlaces, I tried to think of some names, and I called it Bootstraps. And then I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking that Bootstraps is one thing, and I started doing my research, and I find out that bootstraps are not, in fact, the laces on your boot, but it's the loop on the back of the boot. And it's the smallest part of the boot. And it's the most powerful part of the boot. So it just started.
All the other way.
It just exploded from there.
Don't get it all the way, Vicky.
No. I'm okay with that because it's so intriguing that you have to see this. I'm only laying the framework, but you have to see this for yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's got a very spiritual overtone to it, and you would have to be there to feel that and see that. I am saying a lot, but it's really okay because those that's going to come out, they're going to come out anyway, and those that's not, they're not going to come out.
Yeah.
And that's what I would like to say.
I think, sister, your description only makes people want to come out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because you were laying out kind of what the storyline is, so it's kind of like when they do a trailer before a movie.
Right.
They give you enough to get you interested in knowing what you can expect. So y'all go ahead, man. I'm gonna be quiet. Who else want to get in?
My last question. I was going to ask real quick. Are there any powerful singing in Bootstraps?
Oh yeah.
Now you know how we do it. There's some powerful young vocals in this place. Yes. We have a nice mixture: singing, rap, dance, and poetry. Singing, rap, dance, poetry, all combined. and it promises to be this is something that every parent or grandmother or grandfather should bring their children out to see. It is so uplifting, and I'm not speaking of this. I'm not saying this for myself. My comments is based on what people that have seen Bootstraps have said. And in fact, one of the comments is that it needs to be on Broadway. And so we took that, and I'm like, oh yeah, we rolling with that, and that's why we're calling it Broadway Ready. And it's coming out of our community. These are our young artists. These are our young singers and our young vocalists. And by the way, let me point out that they also wrote some of the material, the singing. Some of the music has been written and produced by the young people.
I have a quick question, 2 quick questions. Capri, is this Capri's first performance, and is Zeke, what's like the most inspiring thing for you, real quickly, because we're running out of time, about the play, but is this Capri's first performance?
No.
Okay.
Like what, with Bootstraps?
Yeah, because you sound like you've been in them before. I was just curious. Okay, well, you sound like you've been in a couple of plays, the way you speak about the play, and it sounds like you got a little bit of experience as well.
Yes, a little.
Mm-hmm. Well, I go back with Vicky. Go ahead, Capri.
But my favorite thing about being in the play, and for one, Miss Brady gave me the privilege of being the main character. And the reason why I love that is because I've always loved good attention. Like, I was always a kid. I was never a bad kid. I always wanted to be that kid that, hey, she was the one who had all A's all year. Like, good attention. So I love that. And then I also love that it's a message for my peers, like the people that I'm going to have to grow up with, the people that we're going to be the old people. And we messed up. I'm not going to lie. So I want to see a lot of growth. I want this message to reach as many young people, and anybody really, but young people, my peers, specifically for me, so that we can be better, have a better world when we grow up and when we get older. So it don't be so evil, because it's so much evil going on right now, and it sucks. Like, it's horrible, especially being a young person living in it. Like, it's horrible. And I just want to be pure, and I just want to spread that pureness, spread the love, and understand, like, hey, all we got to do is pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But look, we don't have to do it ourselves. Like, that's it. Like, it's not just young people versus old people. We can come together, and we can all pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. Like, so that's my favorite thing about the play.
All right.
Well, with me, I'll go back with Vicky since
let me stop everybody. Real quick. We at the top of the hour. We're going to come back because we want everybody to know how to get tickets and everything. So we want to hold you guys over after 10 o'clock, okay? So just stand by. Don't go anywhere. We're talking to the cast of Bootstraps. It is happening on October the 6th, University of Chicago. Brothers and sisters, stand by. We got them coming up to tell you how to get those tickets right here on WVON. This is Straight Words, the Talk of Chicago. We'll be right back, y'all.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Terry McCready.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
A controversial black candidate for North Carolina governor will not appear at a Chicago area Republican fundraiser this weekend. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson has withdrawn from the September 29th event in Kenilworth, sponsored by the 10th Congressional District Republican Organization.
We are staying in this race. We are in it to win it. And we know that with your help, we will.
CNN recently reported that he posted offensive comments on a pornography website some years ago. Robinson previously gained negative press for downplaying the Holocaust and making inflammatory statements about African Americans.
Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is suggesting some House Republicans will be ejected from committees if Democrats regain control of the majority. Jeffries hinted at the possibility after House Speaker Mike Johnson appointed Representative Scott Perry and Ronnie Jackson to the House Intelligence Committee, which sparked bipartisan backlash due to the FBI's seizure of Perry's phone and allegations of workplace misconduct against Jackson when he was the White House physician. Jeffries said if the American people give Democrats an opportunity in November, a different decision would be made, and as Speaker, Jeffries would have the ability for across-the-board rejection of any Republican picks for the Intelligence Committee. The Democratic-led House voted in 2021 to strip all committee assignments from Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar.
The Department of Homeland Security says those who entered the U.S. through the Biden administration's parole program for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans and fail to change their legal status within 2 years must leave the country or face deportation after their parole period ends. The window also allows recipients to secure employment while applying for legal status. The program is an extension of an initiative to stem irregular migration by working with foreign partners, improving procedures, and making a pathway easier for legal immigration. U.S. Customs and Border Protection data shows more than 110,000 Cubans, 210,000 Haitians, 93,000 Nicaraguans, and 117,000 Venezuelans have entered the country under the program.
Reverend Al Sharpton announced the death of his 93-year-old father, Al Sharpton Sr., over the weekend. The 69-year-old civil rights activist acknowledged the connection between the two men was complicated, and he said he's worked through the pain and feelings of abandonment over the past 18 years. They built a meaningful relationship. Sharpton said although his father's weaknesses may have created a lasting impact, he instilled in his children a sense of pride and independence. Sharpton is urging his followers to use his father's passing as an opportunity for reconciliation with their own families.
For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. On social media, follow the BIN on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Black Information Network and on X at Black Infonet. I'm Terry McCready along with Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
It's Matt McGill.
The amazing Jennifer Lewis, soul sister number one, who we love so much.
Kamala Harris has the kind of heart and soul I'm talking about. That's why I'm going to be on the front line for her.
Okay.
Donald Trump is a sociopath.
Okay.
You see, I can diagnose and process Donald Trump because I know what mental illness looks like. This election ain't no joke. We got to take this BICH and repeat over and over and over and over again. My quote, get your ass out and vote.
Matt McGill, weekdays at 1 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, it's your man Steve Parker, and Uncle Bobby and Aunt Bee, the founders of Love Not Blood campaign, would like to welcome the 200 Families United for Justice Network members to Smoke and Choke and No Joke in Oakland, September 26th through 29th, 2024, a club nobody wants to be a member of. These families are impacted by losing a loved one to police. They will gather to celebrate unity, training, joy, pain, laughter, and good vibrations only at the 10th anniversary of Families United for Justice Conference. Families United will never be divided.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weeknights, 6 to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I'll bring a national perspective to all things happening in Black America. It's talk the way you like it, and it's why America is listening.
It's the legendary Tavis Smiley, weeknights at 6 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's all about great food and service at Let's Eat to Live restaurant located at 621 East 67th Street on the south side of Chicago. Fresh, healthy, life-giving meals prepared with love. Veggies, fish, chicken, lamb, burgers, soups, breads, delicious desserts, and more. Some coming from our on-site garden in season. We got good food for your soul at 621 East 67th Street. That's Let's Eat to Live restaurant. You can stop by or call us at 773-966-6549. Or visit the website, letseattolivecafe.com.
Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik. You've seen him on cable TV. Now hear his spirited conversation on The Talk of Chicago. The question at hand is raising voices of the Negro. That plain and simple. Tune in every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for Speak On It with Dr. Kofi Malik on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Discover the captivating world of black art and history at AfricanWorldArt.com. Are you seeking a unique and meaningful gift, or do you just want to come celebrate the richness of the black diaspora? Our online gallery is the place for you with a wide selection of paintings, sculptures, prints, posters, and more. Journey through time with images that document our triumphs and challenges, from present-day icons to ancient civilizations, as well as the struggles of slavery, resistance, civil rights, the Black Power movement, and the Black impact on sports, entertainment, politics, and global justice. AfricanWorldArt.com is more than just an online store. It's an inspiration drawn from our experiences. Visit AfricanWorldArt.com or call 267-312-4189. That's 267-312-4189. AfricanWorldArt.com. Since 1985, it's where black fine art and historical pictures come to life. That's African spelled with a K. AfricanWorldArt.com.
What up, VON? It's your boy, it's Kendall Moore. I'm from the Kendall Moore Show, you already know. Join me every Friday evening from 6 until 9 p.m. on 1690 AM, that is, WVON. Cheers.
Got a 3, got a 2, got a 1. Yes! Tune in Friday, 9 to midnight for The Fundamentals, where I, Titus T. Del Williams, bring the mental.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And I, DJ Turbine Arturo Garza, bring the fun.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you were here?
So if you want some wacky,
some good conversation,
but some fun,
and a little serious,
for all your sports needs, tune in to The Fundamentals.
Friday nights, 9 to midnight. We'll see you there.
You like that? You like that?
Light, life, and power drives our weekly talk show. Straight Words on WVON 1690, The Talk of Chicago.
This is Naba'a Richard Muhammad.
This is Brother BJ Murphy.
This is Brother James G. Muhammad. Tune in Tuesday nights, 9 to midnight for real black talk. It's Straight Words.
On Straight Words, we inform, we educate, and we have a good time.
Black voices speaking on the black struggle for freedom, justice, and equality, and bold defenses of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. This Tuesday, 9 p.m. to midnight Central Time on WVON 1690 AM and WVON.com. And go to our website, straightwords.com, for more content. We're black.
And we're strong.
We're unapologetically pro-Farrakhan.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
The following is paid programming. The views are not necessarily those of this station. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, brothers and sisters, if you wear your white last Friday in honor of this great man you're listening to right now, Frankie Beverly, amazing, rest in peace, brother. He gave us some great music, and that brother definitely taught us how to unify. Every time we went to a concert, we're unifying everybody in the arts community. We're unifying everybody in the city of Chicago to come out and witness a great play called Bootstraps, October the 6th at the University of Chicago. We got the cast on. We're going to talk to them in just a minute. But let me tell you real quick how you can support our show so we can continue to bring you wonderful people like this that you don't ordinarily get a chance to hear from, and some of the other guests we got coming up this hour, brothers and sisters. Straightwords.com is our website. We would love your support financially. We have all the information on our website on how you can support this great effort. Brother James G. Muhammad, our captain, Brother Naba'a Richard Muhammad. These brothers are putting it down for you every week with information to help save our lives. And we appreciate all that you've done since we've been on the air. So go to straightwords.com and find out how you can support this show. So Brother Naba'a, Brother James G., I know we're wrapping up with our guests and moving on to our other guests we got coming up this hour, but we got to get that information out on how people can witness this great performance at the University of Chicago, October the 6th. We talk about Bootstraps, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. You want us to go on and give the information,
Yes,
my brother?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay.
Please do that.
And I want to say that when I said if they're gonna come, they're gonna come. They're not gonna come. It's not that I don't. I want to be real clear. We certainly would love for our community to come out and support us.
Yeah.
These young people are doing positive things. They're doing great things. We need to really support them. And so what I'm saying, the whole premise of Bootstraps is not just sitting back whining, moaning, and complaining, but getting involved. And so one great way that you can get involved is you can support us by purchasing tickets. You can bring your group out. It's going to be Sunday, October 6, 2024. You could call the box office at 773-702-2787. Again, that's 773-702-2787. Or you can log on to tickets.uchicago.edu, and that's U, the letter U. Tickets.uchicago.edu. And those tickets are available, and we have good seating left remaining. And my brothers that's hosting us tonight, thank you so much for having us on, and we certainly hope that you're able to join us complimentary on that evening.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, sister. We appreciate it. We appreciate y'all bringing that beautiful energy. Much continued success to y'all, and we'll be talking to you hopefully before next week. I know Brother Naba'a has a couple of things he wants to say to y'all, so thank y'all so much for being on the show tonight.
Yes, thank you, Brother BJ. I just want to say that, brothers and sisters, those who are listening and those who will hear this on our podcast, come out and support this. And you will be amazed by the work of these young people.
Yes.
And you may even be motivated to actually get involved with ABJ Civic Arts Center. It's a beautiful program, and there's nothing like working with our young people and seeing the beauty of who they are. Go ahead.
Can I say something, brother? I've been working with Vicki for about 40 years, and I've worked with a lot of these young people, and I am so proud of this cast because I see the growth in them. I see the potential that they have, and I'm telling young people out here, y'all need to come out here and see these people, these young cast, because you have a gift and a talent, and what you see on stage may be something you may want to do. And so that's why it's so important for young people to come out today, because there's so much hidden talent in Chicago, and we want to bring it out.
Beautiful.
All right.
Hey, my Naba'a.
Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted to say I'm online now purchasing my tickets, bro.
Go ahead.
Okay, now.
Yes.
All right.
We do over
right.
here.
Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. Now that's bootstrapping. That's bootstrapping.
Right. Bootstrap.
That's what it is. That's what it is. When you hear something, you get involved and do something about it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's not expensive. It's not expensive. It's very affordable.
I don't think I told you guys my character. I play Shalette. I play the salon owner. So not only am I Lady Keisha with ABJ, I also play the salon owner. And I was in Bootstraps previously, and I played a different character. And being in Bootstraps and playing these different characters, I'm able to see bootstrapping on a whole nother level. And what I mean by that is when I go out into my community or I'm out just doing things, I'm like, oh, we need to bootstrap, y'all. Come on, what we need to do? Oh, you know with that? Well, let's bootstrap. Let's stick together. Oh, you're a little short on your groceries right now. You need 10 cents, $50, $1 or so. Hey, we finna bootstrap. I'm finna help you out because it's gonna come right back around.
Right.
Because we are a village people. I'll go back to what ABJ stands on. We are a village people. Pastor Z, if you've been with her for over 40 years, you know that's Big Mama right there. Pastor V gonna be your big mama. She gonna be your auntie. She gonna be your pastor when she needs to. She gonna put you in line when needs to be, and raise you when needs to be. And
That's
what I
right.
love about this performance is, like Jewel was saying, like Capri was saying, who plays Jewel. She came to Pastor V. We need to do a play. We need to do a play again. She was like, the main character was actually for a male, but Pastor V was like, look, we finna bootstrap. You are now Jewel. You're the main character of this play. And yes, you are right, because Capri has a fire inside of her, just like the character. And Pastor V saw that, and she pulled it out. Some of the people who are not on stage that are behind stage, Pastor V saw that and said, you know what? You're good at this. You're good at that. We finna bootstrap, and you're finna do that. Now she got young people out here who are like, man, I can do stuff behind stage. I'm no longer afraid to be in front of stage either. I can be on stage and make them perform and be Broadway ready. So we bootstrapping on here, y'all. That's what we all about. And we want y'all to be able to see bootstrapping when you go out, so you can bootstrap and you can see it.
All right.
Hey, thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming on. And inshallah, we'll be
you.
bringing you back, okay?
Yes, and we appreciate you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And Sister Lieutenant, I put your flyer on our website. So if you want to, again, get that information and see the flyer, you can go to straightwords.com, too. And you can get it right there, okay?
Hey,
beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
We know you have other guests, and I just want to say thank you all so much for what you do on a weekly basis. It means a lot, and it's making a great difference. Continue the good work. God bless you.
Oh, thank
you again for the
invite. Right. God bless you as well, my sister.
Dr. Rosita's been holding on. She want to talk to us, y'all. Dr. Rosita, thank you for holding on. Straight words tonight. Go ahead and talk to us. What you got to say?
Yes, well, I did want to say to Victoria and her cast, I took my students to see Bootstraps, and I did post some of their comments a few years ago when they had it. We were with Buffy and CBS and Julian High School, and the students were really impressed, and they wrote, actually, we did a curriculum, which I'm going to get with Victoria and tell her about it, but the students actually wrote, I did put it on the Facebook page, some of their comments, because they were published in our newsletter, but I will be coming out. But I did want to also say, I am still a write-in, and these are the reasons why I wanted to be on the board, so we can bring programs like this, because we actually wrote grants to have for our students. We got a couple of $1 million, so we were able to take them all over the country and see things like Bootstraps. They didn't have to pay anything. And we need those kind of programs. We sent them to college. They got scholarships. And those are the kind of things that are impactful in our schools for our children. We need more of that. And we need people that really understand our culture, because we're kind of being looked over, and there's a new kid in town, and some of them look like us, but they don't have the same mentality we have and really don't understand our children and what they need. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still a write-in. So when you write me in, just think that we will be working very hard to get the right kind of programs to impact our students in Chicago Public Schools. So,
okay, now, Dr. Rosita, you have to tell us what you're running for and where we write you in and how.
Okay, on the November 5th, you'll go to the back of the ballot, and they're going to say elected school board, and they'll have districts. I'm in the 10th district, which is everything from 38th Street to 138th Street, and basically everything east of the Dan Ryan. So it's a huge district. There are 5 people on the ballot, and so anybody at this point, it's anybody's game. Even with the write-in, with 5 people on the ballot, there's a possibility to win. So you will write my name in because you will see other names. So we were kind of booted out the ballot due to financial situations. We had a lot of people challenging us, which was kind of not fair, but we moved ahead anyway. And we said, well, okay, since we have so many, and it would have taken thousands of dollars to fight the challenge. So we said we're still going to stay in, and you can write my name in. It's Dr. Rosita. That's Rosita, and the last name is Chatonda. So if you write it in, and I'll be getting some literature out so that people who really want to vote for us, they won't get confused. There'll be people out on Election Day at the 27 polling places with my information, and then you can you'll have something in your hand if you get confused about the spelling. But I said we have to do this one way or the other, and I do want to shout out once again to Pastor Victoria. I do know her, and I will be there to see Bootstraps. I'm going to bring my grandkids because my students have been, but my grandkids, they were kind of little then. And so we'll be coming out to support her.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sister. Thank you for calling in.
Okay.
All right, brothers and sisters, you listen to WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago. This is Straight Words. Go to our website, straightwords.com.